Hi everybody, it's Sharon. This is from my She Knits Pattern Tuck. I'm going to demonstrate rows 17, 18, 19, and 20, and within those rows I'll be showing you the built-in I-cords on the side, the tuck stitch, and the slip 1, knit 2, pass slip stitch over, which is not to be confused with the slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over. So starting with the built-in I-cord on the right, I'm going to show you that I want to explain to you that the right hand side of your work is always going to have the main color as your I-cord, and on the left hand side it's which the I-cord will show in whatever color you come across the row is what you'll use for the I-cord. So you can see here I worked across with the main color, which in my case is red, so the I-cord is red there, and then when I started with the color change, that's what you use for the I-cord on the left hand side. Okay, so I've come across the back of the work for those first 3 stitches, just slipped them, and now I'm at the front of the work knitting the first 3. And here I am at the color change, in this case it's to yellow, and I'm going to just put my right hand needle into as if I'm going to knit, just for demonstration purposes. I want to show you that I'm letting go of the old color, which in this case is my main color, the red, looping it over my middle finger and bringing up the new yarn I'm going to use, and see how they cross here? That's how you avoid having gaps. Okay, and so now I'm going to show you what the tuck stitch is. I turn my work over and you can easily see those purl bumps across. Those are the stitches you go into for your tuck stitch. I just take my right hand needle, put it right in that first purl bump, put it up on the left hand needle next to the first live stitch, and knit those 2 together. And that's what you do all the way across. Put the right hand needle in, up on the needle, knit them together. It's very hard to do when you're using all the same color yarn, but I always made it in the pattern that the tuck stitch row is a color change, so you can easily see it against your other color. If you're using 2 yarns that are very similar in color, you might have to search for it, but you could see it. Sometimes reading the text, and even with those pictures that I put in the pattern, doesn't quite make sense, and then when you see it, see that nice tuck row? I love this texture. All the way across, and when you get to the last stitch in that portion of the tuck stitch, it's always a knit stitch because it bulged out too much when the last one was a tuck stitch. So here I am at that last stitch before my stitch marker. I'm changing, now I'm just doing that knit stitch, slipping the marker, and then I bring my yarn forward. Here's the built-in I-cord on the left. 1, 2, 3. Turn the work, coming back across. I'm pulling that yarn across those 3 stitches I slipped and knitting the first 3. That heavy sighing you hear is my husband, who's being my cinematographer. Okay, now this is where I wish I could insert some music, because I'm just purling across here. If I knew how to edit, I would edit this part out, but I'm just thrilled that I can film these and upload them onto YouTube. So bear with me here, purling across. This is row 18. And now I'm at the built-in I-cord on the left hand side, which in this case, remember I said it always stays the main color, so I slip those 3, turn my work. Now on the first 3 stitches, it is bringing that across, and then I'm going to continue using my main color in this next row, which is row 19. So here's where the color changes from before. If I just went across with my red and continued, there would be a gap here. So again, I'm going to put the needle in just for demonstration purposes as if I'm going to knit, and I'm going to show you that I take my old color, which is the yellow that's just dormant here, put it across my index finger, and bring the new color up from under. Not the new color, but the color I'm going to use up from under. I think I just confused everybody. Yeah, I'm going to be taking the red now under, so there's no gap. See how they cross? Bringing the new color up from under. Okay, so the first 2 stitches in row 19 are purl. Now here is the slip 1, knit 2, 1, 2, not knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over. We do a slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over later in the pattern, but not now. Again, purl 2, slip 1, knit 2, pass slip stitch over, purl 2, and then the last stitch is a knit front back. We increase from 1 to 2 stitches. And now that we've come across in the red, we slip, 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 and we're going to use that red across. Knit the first 3, and then we go on. I'm not going to demonstrate the whole row 20, but this is now where you're purling 2. I'm going to show you one time. The yarn over, you knit 2. Now here's purl 1, yarn over, purl 1. So I purl 1, and when you do a yarn over from a purl back to a purl, you bring it up and over and back to the front to again purl. I hope that helped.